Journal of an Ordinary Man. Day 4. A slower entry today, a heavier one, a necessary one. Question 1. Opening moment. Where are you starting from today?
Today begins with a weight I can feel in my chest. Not crushing, but present. Like I'm waking up in the middle of a conversation I didn't finish last night. Yesterday had 2 very different chapters. The morning felt uplifting. Church was strong. The message about friendships hit home. It was all about being intentional with the people you choose to keep close, guarding your heart, but also nurturing the relationships that matter. And I swear, that whole sermon seemed aimed directly at me, or at this journal, or both. But the day shifted when I came home. I wanted nothing more than a quiet football afternoon. Simple, easy, something that didn't require emotional effort. Then came a moment that shouldn't have been a big deal. My daughter asking me to help with her windshield wipers, and I had already told both her and my wife that windshield wipers are on the list of things I hate to work on, but I helped anyway. Reluctantly, and worse, I complained. The kind of complaining that fills the room with tension. My wife didn't love that. And not long after, she told me our other daughter, closing on her first house this week, wanted us to help paint, and without much thought, I answered with a pretty blunt no. No softness. No consideration for what she was carrying emotionally. Just no. That upset my wife, and honestly, I can't blame her. So now imagine the scene. I'm on the couch, watching football, and the energy in the room has shifted. Heavy, quiet, uncomfortable. Not good. We did circle up at the end of the night. We talked deeply, honestly. I admitted how sometimes I feel like I never get things right, and not in a dramatic, woe is me kind of way, but in a quiet, lingering ache that I carry, like there's always something I'm overlooking or mishandling. We talked about intimacy too, something we haven't addressed in a while. She thought I wasn't interested. I had to explain that a recent health issue has made intimacy harder, but not unwanted. Far from it. I still want closeness, connection. Man, there is so much to unpack there, and today it feels like I'm just beginning to lift the first layer.
Question 2. Something that made you feel good today.
Not much stood out today, if I'm being fully honest, but my football team did win. And even though it's small, almost too small to matter on a day like this, it reminded me that simple moments still have their place, that joy doesn't have to be loud or profound. Sometimes it's just the brief feeling that something went right, that the world lined up for one small moment. On a day full of heavy reflections, even a tiny win can feel like a breath of air.
Question 3. Something that made you feel bad.
What made me feel bad, truly bad, was the way I reacted when my wife mentioned helping our daughter paint her new house. It wasn't the no that was the problem. It was how quickly I said it, how sharp I was, how little thought I gave to what the moment represented for my daughter. Getting a first home is huge. Wanting your family to be part of preparing it is meaningful. My response didn't honor that. I've learned that a lot of pain in relationships doesn't come from the big fights. It comes from the little cuts, the small reactions, the unthinking moments, and last night I delivered a few of those. That's the part I'm carrying today. Not guilt exactly, but a quiet awareness that I can do better, and I should do better.
Question 4. Memory or backstory. What from your past or inner world needs to be acknowledged today?
This is where today gets harder, because I think this journal can only do its job if I'm completely honest. So here it is. I often drink too much. There's no soft way to say that, and yet it's a truth that touches every corner of my life. At my age, alcohol isn't just a bad habit. It's a weight on my body, on my mind, on my spirit. I've tried to stop, tried to moderate, tried to negotiate with myself, but nothing sticks the way I want it to. For the last 3 years, I've successfully done dry January, and honestly, I look forward to it now. My family probably does too. This year, I set a goal. 92 days without alcohol, 25% of the year, and it took real effort. Next year, I want to increase that to 122 days, 1/3 of the year. They might sound like small numbers on paper, but for me, they're huge. Here's the thing that's hardest to admit. Writing about this makes me want to cry. Seeing the truth of myself laid out in plain language, no excuses, no softening edges, hurts. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the discomfort is part of the healing. This journal is forcing me to look at myself from outside my own body. And today, I don't entirely love the view, but I'm here to face it, one truth at a time. Tomorrow, I'll talk about the other big hurdle, and that one carries just as much weight.
Question 5. Unique question of the day. Where did you feel unexpectedly loved today?
Last night, even after the tension, even after the discomfort, my wife and I found our way back to each other. We talked openly, honestly, without defensiveness, and that kind of conversation, rooted in love even when it's hard, is a form of love you don't always see coming. We went to bed connected, and woke up even more so. That felt like unexpected love, the kind that shows up after a storm, the kind that lets you exhale and think, okay, we're going to be all right.
Question 6. Where did you feel God today?
God was with us last night in that conversation. You can feel it when God is sitting in the room, not because everything is peaceful, but because even the heavy things feel safe to say out loud. We didn't talk over each other. We didn't withdraw or shut down. We were deliberate and gentle. That wasn't just communication. That was grace. That was God's presence stitched into the fabric of a hard moment. And I'm grateful for it.
Question 7. Bible verse of the day. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you.
This verse is easy to quote and hard to live. It's comforting when life is easy, challenging when life feels confused or out of balance, because trusting that God has a plan means letting go of my own. And control has been my default for decades, but I'm learning, slowly, that surrender doesn't mean failure, it means trust. I'm trying to step into that trust, even when I don't fully understand the path, even when I don't love what I see in the mirror today, even when change feels too big to hold. But God knows the plans He has for me, and that's enough for now.
Question 8. Closing intention for tomorrow. How do you want to show up?
Tomorrow will be another big journal day, another layer to peel back, and weirdly, I'm grateful for it. This journal is preparing me, like laying the groundwork before the new year arrives. So tomorrow I want to show up with courage, with honesty, with a willingness to face the truth and not run from it. One step, one day, one entry at a time.